Hello, everyone, and welcome you all to another chapter of logo design using Photoshop and Illustrator tutorial. So now we are on our chapter number 8, where I'll be showing you guys by designing a simple logo design in Illustrator. Okay, so I'll be using the shape builder tool over here as well, how you will be able to use that while creating a stunning design. So let's not waste time and let's get started. So over here, as you guys can see, now I'm here in the home page of Adobe Illustrator. So let's click on to new file right over here and let's name this one as simple logo. Okay, so I'll name this one as simple logo and let's put the width as 800 pixels and the height as 800 pixels as well. Okay, so I'll just keep the orientation quite like this. Let me just click on create, which will create me this particular artboard. And once I do have this one, let's get my ruler from here. And now let's put out the ruler over here itself. Okay, so let me just put it out right over here. Let's come down from here. Let me just place this thing right over here. Let me just put out a size over here as well. And lastly, I will just put my ruler right over here as well. Okay. So once you're done, let's go to my left hand side of my screen, and from here let's go to my shape tools. Okay, and from my shape tool, now there are different ways of how you can actually create up a shape. Let's say if I just come here and if I just click over here once, here I will be able to select the width and the height of the rectangle or any other shapes. Okay, so let me come here, let me put the width as 300, and now also over here it will basically turn into 300 as well. Otherwise, let's come here, let's put 300 over here as well, and now I will just click on OK right over here. Okay, so now I will basically add a stroke of 1. Okay, so I will just add a stroke of 1 right over here. And now you guys can basically place this one accordingly. Okay. So if you do want to come here, if you do want to work with this, otherwise, if you do want to decrease the size, again, let's come here. Let's select this and let's click on delete. Let's take my shape tool again. Let's click over here once and let's put this one as 150. Okay, so I'll just put this one as 150 of the rectangle. And now let's come here and let's take my ellipse tool. And now let's click over here. And for ellipse, now what I want to do is I do want to create an ellipse of 300. Okay, so let's come here. Let's go with 300 pixels. And I will just click on OK right over here. So once you have clicked on OK, now let's come to this particular position. Let's just place this one in one particular side, and now let's place it right over here in the center. Okay, so let's come here, let's place it over here in the center. Let's take this path, and from this one I will just place this quite over here. Okay, so basically I will just intersect with this particular place. Now let's take this and now let's click on alt and let's just duplicate this right over here. Okay, so now here you guys can see that I do have already created a shape over here. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to select both of this circle using shift, and now let's click on alt. Okay, so let's select this one. Let's select this one as well. And now I will just click on Alt. And now I will just duplicate this thing up. Okay, so let's come here, and now I will just duplicate this, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to place this one right over here itself. Okay, so now let's try to place these things accordingly. Let's come here, let's select this path. Again, let's select this path as well. Now let's try to place both of this accordingly. Okay, so let me try to put this one quite right over here. And if you do want to zoom and see, you guys can come here and click on Control Plus to zoom and align this particular part accordingly. Let's select this path and let's click on Shift. Let's select both of this. And now let me just try to move this thing one up. Okay. So here you guys can see now I do have aligned all of these things right over here. Now let's control minus. Let's go back. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna come over here. Now you gotta select this. And from here, now once you have selected all of these things, let's go to my toolbar from here, and from my toolbar I will be selecting the shape builder tool. Okay, so the shortcut key for the shape builder tool is shift plus M from our keyboard. So I will just click over here, and now if you do want to uh, just delete any part, you guys need to click on Alt, and that plus sign icon will turn into a minus sign icon. So I'll just click on Alt, and over here you guys can see now I am able to delete the extra parts which I had. Okay. So now over here I do have deleted those extra parts, and now if I do want to join both of this, I'll just not hold the Alt, and now I do have the plus icon. Let's come here, and let's come here as well. Let's select both of this, and from here now let's select this part from here as well. And the next thing is let's come here, let's join this one, let's join from here as well, let's join this, and lastly let's join this one over here. Okay, so now let's select outside, and here you guys can see this is how it actually looks. So once this part is done, let me just select all of this. And after selecting all of this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here and I'm going to increase the stroke. Okay. So let me come here and let me just increase the stroke to 10 points over here. And now once this is done, let's select each and every part individually. Okay. And let's change up the color. Okay. So if I do have any dedicated colors, I can just go there and I can just choose those dedicated colors. But over here in Illustrator itself, they do have a lot of swatches. Okay. So if you don't see your swatches option over here, I already do have it over onto my right side. But if you don't see it, let's go to Windows, and from here, you guys will be able to see the swatches option. So just come down, and here you guys can see you do have the swatches options right over here. So let me just open up my swatches, and over here you guys can see I do have a lot of these colors. Okay, so from here if you do want to actually check out their library, so here you guys can see that there are a lot of colors right over here. Okay, so if you do want to go for a celebration, if you're looking for a nature, let's go with the flowers option. And here you guys can actually check from all these right over here. Okay, so from here let me just take out this color, let's come to this one, and from here let's take out this color, let's select this path, let me take out this color right over here, let's select this path, and let's take out this red color, let's take this path, and lastly I will just take out the yellow color. But this both looks quite similar, so let me just change it to a different color right over here. And here you guys can see now I do have all of these colors over here. Okay, so now once you are happy with those particular colors, now let's select all of this, And after you select, let's go to my menu bar on top. Let's click on object, and from here I will just click on expand. Okay, and once you click on expand, this type of thing will basically, or this type of window will basically appear. From here, now let's click on OK. And once you have clicked down the OK part, here you guys can see that I will go to my toolbar, and from here I will just take the shape builder tool. And from the shape builder tool, now let's just zoom in quite a bit. Okay, and now if I do want to delete these parts, let's come here, let's click on alt, and I will just delete these parts right over here. Okay, so let's just delete this thing over here. So let me just delete this one. Let me just delete this one as well. Let's delete this right over here, and let's delete this one. And again, let's come here, let's delete it, let's delete this one, and let's come over here on top. You guys can just take your own time, and you guys can just delete this whole thing altogether. Okay, so I will just click on alt, don't forget to do that. Let's come here, let's click on to this sign, and again I will slowly remove all of this icon right from here. Okay, so I will just come here, let's just scroll in again. Okay, so I'll just scroll in again, and let me just move it on to the right. And now again I will just click on alt, and now again let's click on alt over here, let's click right over here in the center, and let's click it over here as well. And slowly you guys can just take up your own time. Okay, so click minus, and let's delete this part as well. So this one I do want to create, as you guys can already see what I am trying to do over here, but make sure to take your time and do it quite easily. Okay, so just take up your own time and just do it all by yourself. Again, you guys can check that what are the parts which you had left where you need to work on. Okay, so let's come here, let's select this part, let's select this part as well. And once you are done, let's take my selection tool, and this is how it actually looks. Okay, so again, if you just click right over here, and from here if you just take out the shape builder tool, here you guys can see that you can just delete this particular part right over here. Okay, otherwise let's click on alt, and let's click this, Control Z, and here you guys can just get that particular layer back as well. Okay, so now I will come here, and here you guys can see this is how basically my logo looks like. So I will just click on Control minus over here, and if you do want to make any changes towards this, you guys can come here, and you guys can make some changes towards this as well. Okay, let me come here, let me just add a stroke of 2. Let's come here, let's add a stroke of 2 over here as well. Let's add a stroke of 2, and also let's add a stroke of 2 point over here as well. Okay, so now this one looks more better over here. And now lastly, let's come here, let's take my ellipse tool, let's click on shift and alt, and I will just click, or I will just create this thing right over here. Let's decrease the stroke, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come here, and I'm going to exactly place this thing right over here in the center. Okay, so I'm gonna place it right over here, Let's select this one. And now instead of a small simple color, I will just go with the gradient one. And let me take a radial gradient right over here. Let's double click. And from here, I will just choose out the color from here. Okay, so I will just come back over again. Now let's try to go with some colors, or let's go with this blue color. Let's come here. Otherwise, let's go back. And here, now let's delete this one. And over here, now let me just try to get out some blue colors right over here as well. Okay. And also you guys want to check out the location where you do want to paint it, and also you guys can see what is going to be the aspect ratio. Okay, so if you do want to change it, let's say I will go with the linear gradient. Okay, so this one also looks good. And once all these things are done, let's come here, and again let's increase the size, shift and alt. And now let's increase the size of this particular thing over here. And once this is done as well, let's select all of this. And now let's click on Control G to group this thing up. Okay. So now once this is done, let me select this object. Okay. So this is one object now. And now let's go to the effect option from here. Let's stylize it a little bit. Okay. So let's go to stylize, and from here, let's select the drop shadow. And over here, you guys can see, I do already able to see the preview. Okay. So let me just go with normal. From here, you guys can actually check out the opacity. Let's go with 80%. Okay. And also you guys can select the X offset. You guys will be able to select what is going to be the Y offset. Let's go with 12 over here. And also you guys can select the amount of blur. Okay. So once this is done, let's come here. Let's increase the amount of blur maybe by 10. And now I will just click on OK. And here you guys can see that I do have a drop shadow just behind my logo over here as well. Okay, so you guys can just move it anywhere you want. And let's click on shift, and if you do want to increase the size, you guys can come here and you guys can basically increase the size quite like this. Okay, so lastly, to save this thing up, let's come here, go to my menu bar. From there I will just click on file, and from file let's click on export. Okay, so I will not review this one, but let's come here, let's go to export, and from here let's export for screens. Okay, so once you click on export for screens, here you guys can see if you have multiple artboard over here, you will be able to export all those things all together. Okay, so let's come here, you guys can select what is going to be the font. Okay, and do you want to export the whole artboard? You guys can select that one. Here you guys can actually check out what is going to be the location. Let me select this one, and I'll just select this particular folder. And once this is done, if you are ready, you guys can click on export. And if you don't want to include the bleed, I will just turn off include bleed option. And now let's click on export artboard, and that particular artboard basically will be exported. Okay, so if you just double click right over here once, and here guys will be able to see my design. Okay, so here you guys can see this is the logo which I do have created, and I do have exported it with a transparent background. Okay, so here you guys can see I do have exported it without a transparent background, and the drop shadow looks good on this black background as well. So yeah, I hope to see you all in the next chapter where we are going to learn more about Illustrator. So see you all Till then, take care and goodbye, everyone.